Studios Nemde Road is the news for the headlines. Trust Bank's managing director tells the Janet Commission about the Taiwan Embassy Trust Fund account. The Minister of Finance presents next year's revenue and expenditure budget to the National Assembly. The East Africa Standby Force holds military exercise in eastern Sudan. And Egypt launches investigations into the Sinai mosque attack that killed more than 300 people. Those are the headlines. Thanks for joining us once again. The managing director of Trust Bank Monday testified before the Janet Commission on the Taiwan Embassy Trust Fund account. Gerajalo has more on that report.
And six, a total of about $700,000 was deposited to the President's Employment for Girls Education Payments account through Taiwan Embassy account.
February 2006, dated 15 February 2006, fact inflow of $1 million.
Mostly the
US
Republic of China.
Last time,
Yes,
17 January 2015, amount of
where does the money go?
Mostly before President's account or cash.
The second witness to appear before the Janet Commission was the Chief of Naval Staff, Commodore Madani Senghor. He was directed by former President Janet to facilitate the passage of 6 fishing boats costing over $10 million. Another 14 fishing boats costing over $3 million were contracted to the same contractor named Alaji Jasam.
For the first two,
observation looks at basically
18 meters. It was $350,000 each.
transit in
And for the second two of 21 meters, it was $375,000 each. And for the remaining two of 22 meters, it was $400,000 each.
Very well. Okay, put the documents together. Also, Alaji Jassam built the boats.
Yes, ma'am. He built the boats, ma'am.
So on what basis did you distribute them as you did? Do you have any instructions to distribute them as you did?
Yes, ma'am. As the contract was done in phases,
Okay.
the contractor would be paid in advance after fulfilling part of the construction. I will visit the contractor, inspect the boats, take pictures, and write an update to make requests for the disbursement of the additional funds for the contractor to complete the boat.
Now, part of the monies paid to the contractor were paid from the sand mining account, which at the central bank. Apart from the sand mining account, can you tell us which other accounts were being used to pay the contractor? Were you in?
No, ma'am. I'm not aware of anywhere funds were coming from. I was just getting instructions that the money is ready. Go to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Defense, and inform Alaji Jassam to come and collect his money.
Commodore Senghor added that he was giving a part payment of $1,900,000, leaving a balance of $1,320,000. Sittings continues tomorrow. For GRTS News, this is Yero Jalo reporting.
The Minister of Finance and Economic Affairs, Amadou Sane, Monday tabled the 2018 Revenue, Recurrent and Development Expenditure before deputies. Modu Bajan was there and furthering this report.
In 2017, compared to an actual outturn of 2.2% in 2016. Notably, growth in the agricultural sector is expected to rebound to 5.5% in 2017.
Continuing on a 2018 estimates, Minister Sane stated a drop in services which was triggered by the political impasse.
The service sector is anticipated to experience a small setback, with growth falling from 5.1% in 2016 to a forecast of 4.5% in 2017. The low performance of the sector is due to the negative impact of the December political impasse that affected the tourism sector,
while other expenditures rise to $18.339 billion. The removal of ghost workers also bettered the country's personal expenses, reducing it to $2.506 billion.
Other expenditures amounted in 2017 to $9.599 billion, and for the 2018 budget, we projected it to rise to $18.339 billion. Personnel costs for 2017 is $2.682 billion, and this is projected to be $2.506 billion. Now, the decrease reflects some of the ghost workers that were eliminated.
As other expenditures are foreseen to increase, capital expenditure is equally projected to expand to $5.68 billion.
Other current expenditures amounted to $5.146 billion in 2017, and in 2018, this has risen to $9.864 billion. Capital expenditure for 2017 was $1.77 billion, and the projection for 2018 amounts to $5.968 billion.
Additionally, the Gambia's 2018 revenue and grant is expecting a 63% increment from its 2017 figures.
Total revenue and grants in 2018 is projected at $19.399 billion, which represents an increase of about 63% over 2017 figure of $11.909 billion. Project grants are estimated to increase from $782 million in 2017 to $8.24 billion in 2018.
Having tabled the 2018 budget estimates, parliamentarians are now expected to meet again so as to better scrutinize before adopting this very important document. Modu Bajan reporting for GRTS News.
The Minister of Justice, Abubakar Batambedu, has accepted the verdict of the 5-member panel of judges upholding the Public Order Act that was used by ex-President Jammeh to jail opposition activists and restrict opposition gatherings. As Seni Mariana reports, the Justice Minister said his office will further study the ruling before challenging it.
The Public Order Act is challenged by the then opposition leader and now Foreign Affairs Minister Usainu Dabo, who was jailed last year for taking part in an unauthorized protest. Dabo and his jail colleagues challenged 2 sectors of the Act, which they said violates the right to freedom of assembly in the Constitution. A panel of 5 Supreme Court justices previously ruled against a lawsuit filed by Dabo challenging the constitutionality of Section 5 of the Public Order Act and Section 69 of the Criminal Code. The judges found that the said sections are consistent with the Constitution of the Gambia and believe the suit had failed, thereby dismissing it accordingly. Justice Minister Abubakar Tambedu explained why the state decided to respect the Supreme Court verdict.
As you are aware, the Supreme Court ruled that the provisions of the Public Order Act are constitutional. The plaintiffs had sought for a declaration that the affected provisions were unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has given its ruling. So as of now, the provisions of the Public Order Act remain in force in this country.
Barrow's government faces many challenges to rebuild the country's broken economy and long-neglected institutions. Unlike Jammeh, Barrow pledges to ensure a separation of power, guaranteeing the independence of the judiciary. On the Constitutional Review Commission, Justice Minister said efforts are at advanced stage to send the draft bill to Parliament.
When we speak about respect for the rule of law, that means accepting that our judiciary is independent and that we are totally committed to this independence. We have all complained bitterly in the past about how the previous regime did not respect the rule of law, how that has led to abuses at all levels of governance. These are new times. It means we must practice what we preach.
Gambians are looking forward to an independent, impartial and strong body that will give justice its true meaning by upholding the rule of law through the equitable dispensation of justice. For GRTS News, I am Seni MK Marina.
The West African Association for the Development of Artisanal Fisheries Monday concluded a training in strengthening fisheries good governance within member countries. The advocacy program brought together fishermen, fish processors and vendors to refocus strategies in improving the fishing sector. Mama J has more on that.
The forum was meant to advocate key issues on fish wholesaling and artisanal processing of fisheries products. The president of the Artisanal Fisheries Development Agency, Charna Omar Diouf, described the 5-day program as fruitful, while underscoring its significance to the participants.
We've spent 5 very rigorous and very hectic days, but I assume and I believe very fruitful and useful days. I think we have learned a lot in these 5 days within this subject of advocacy.
The Executive Secretary of the West African Association for the Development of Artisanal Fisheries, Musa Mbeng, said WADAF was established to empower and improve fisheries sectors in member countries. He added that the project will help participants highlight some of the challenges in the artisanal fisheries sector. The project coordinator of WADAF, Aminata Mbeng, gave an insight into the fisheries project. Adam Asane, focal person for WADAF Gambia, hailed the organizers for complementing the efforts of government in improving the fisheries sector and urged officials of WADAF to expand the program to the inland sector.
As we know, the government cannot do it alone. WADAF and the partners are complementing government efforts to better improve the fisheries sector. And this, I think this will go a long way in doing that.
Some of the problems that we are facing, for example, me as a fish processor, our smokehouses are all wretched. They are out of use now. So we are appealing to the government if we can have modern facilities, up-to-date standard, up-to-standard facilities to help us improve our ways of working.
Some of the participants, including fish trader Aisatu Kamara of Banjul and fisherman Ali Hussein of Bakau, harped on issues affecting their work, including the management of marine and coastal ecosystem, co-management of fisheries resources, development of fish processing sites, and modernization of fishing infrastructures. Mama J, GRTS.
The Ministry of Lands has developed a project document that seeks to guide and ensure a proper land management system in the Gambia. Asian Silver reports.
At a time when the subject of land allocation is causing widespread rancor among Gambians dwelling mainly in the urban and peri-urban areas, the Ministry of Lands is coming up with a cadastral mapping system to nail down these challenges once and for all, with the preparation of a project document that seeks to guide the mapping system.
This will eliminate the problem of villagers entering into each other. This will eliminate the problem of families having dispute on land. This will eliminate a lot of problems that we are experiencing today.
Implemented in the Canadian territory of Quebec and South Africa, the cadastral mapping system is a comprehensive register of real estate property mates and bounds of a country to define the dimensions and locations of land parcels. The process is also another way to use to ensure proper land management, which appears to be a serious issue in the country.
We have got a lot of land issues in the courts, and these are all because of lack of proper mapping. These go to an extent to give double allocations. It has given a sort of a leverage to people who want to do dubious land deals because they are not mapped. They can sell it to 2 or 3 people. When we say this area is for residential, it will be purely residential. When we say this area is for industrial, it will be purely industrial. When we say the area is for agricultural, it will be purely agricultural.
So does it mean after the exercise, some other people may face evacuation?
Not necessarily, unless and until people are living in an area which is not fit for living.
Why now?
Yes, now is better late than never.
The ministry has hired a consultant to put things into order, paving the way to execute best standards and procedure. Michelle Brunet, a seasoned surveyor, will guide participants to produce an all-inclusive blueprint. The United Nations Development Program, UNDP, funds the project. The agency's program specialist, Abdul Toure, reassures UNDP's continuous support.
What we call a country program, document, CPD 2017 to 2021, in which also this relationship with the local government, we have enshrined that in the document.
Hailed as an ambitious move to design a futuristic roadmap for the implementation of the country's future mapping system, the cadastral mapping structure is expected to create a coordinated arrangement via which all future land transactions will be recorded to avoid unnecessary squabbles. Participants here are expected to deliver valuable inputs, drawing the makeup of a tangible and conclusive document which will guide the entire procedure. Etienne Silva, GRTS News.
The Minister of the Environment has called on local communities to be more proactive in protecting the country's forest cover. Lamin Diba made the remarks during meetings in Kerawan, Janjanpure and Basse, where he presided over the handing over ceremonies of the Community Forest Management Agreement to various communities. Alajimbai has the details.
These communities are now entrusted with the management of their forest after 3 years of assessment. Speaking at various meetings in Kerawan, Janjanpure and Basse, Minister Lamin Diba said the forest plays a key role in building climate change resilience and warned against its exploitation.
So far as people are given the right, but they also must take responsibility. And that responsibility is to ensure that the forest is protected and generally our environment is protected. Those who have qualified for the last stage, they have been given the forest. That does not license them to do whatever they want to do in the forest. This forest can lift them out of poverty if properly managed. So therefore it is important that this government is trying to promote community participation in national development.
Dr. Mustafa Sise from the FAO Country Office reiterated his office's resolve to partner with government in protecting natural resources.
FAO is supporting the implementation of the Forest and Farm Facility, the FFF. This year in 2017 they have increased their effort to strengthen their interventions, to strengthen communities and specifically women. So FAO recognizes the importance of facilitating climate and environment-related financing for sustainable forest management.
The Director of Forestry, Mohamed Jete, advised community members to heed to the terms in the agreement and plant more trees to replace the lost forest cover. He said the Department of Forestry will not relent in their efforts to protect the forests.
After the handing over of the Community Forest Management Agreement, which is the final phase, now our next step is going to be to ensure that the communities are supported in the preparation, formulation, and adoption of participatory management plans that is going to be developed together with the forestry staff that are on the ground, and also to guide the communities as to how to implement those plans to ensure the sustainability of those forest reserves, and to ensure that they are also contributing towards national development.
Various speakers from the communities assert their commitment to the protection and improvement of their forest parks. Alajimbai reporting for GRTS News.
We will be back with news from outside the Gambia right after this break.
ndax nag internet mooy dox soxla ji mooy dox dox ji mooy wax ji kon ñëpp war nañoo am internet waaye nag internet boo koy uti da koy uti ca fa nga ko war a utee foo ko war a utee ci ndeyu ñëpp ki nga xam ne moo boot communication yëpp moo jur ñëpp mooy kan Gamtel nee na promotion bu mag laa leen amal promotion boo xam ne bii delloo leen njukkal rek lay doon ADSL 2 plus internet dama ne internet bari na waaye bii internet la ñu wax kala ko indi Gamtel nee na nu may def ak yéen damay def ak yéen nag free installation téléphone line boo ko bëggee fii ba décembre ñu defal la free installation doo fay dara waaye ADSL installation free doo fay dara yow daal jëndal sa modem rek toog ñu defaral la ba mu baax lii nga xam ne mooy 512 kilobits bi daan jar 1005 yóbbu nañ ko ba $1000 ndax yéen waaye dama wax ne ñi nga xam ne ñoo fa nekkoon nag sax fa kenn fàttewu leen ndax nag ko la rek ginnaaw lay féete ma ne dala nga daan fay benn weer fayal ñetti weer ñu defal la 20% discount fayal juróom benn weer ñu defal la 30% discount waaye at nag ñu defal la 40% discount kana mun di Gamtel oote na ñëpp jóg gaaw leen de promotion bi ñaari weer rek lay jël novembre ba décembre jeex ñu emale ko fa rek daw leen bu leen ko kenn nettali uti leen ko dama ne jóg leen mooy ndey internet yi de moo tax ñuy wax de ki tax nga tax bu taxee ba nga tax foo ko rombee ne ko yaa tax ma tax te ki tax nga tax mooy kan mooy Gamtel.
Welcome back. The East Africa Standby Force is holding a military exercise in eastern Sudan. The program is meant to boost the capability of African peacekeeping forces and help contain conflict and terrorism. Details in the CGTN report.
Its aim is to train ISAF forces in a base support operation that covers all the pledging of forces, training all the troops about planning, conducting all the events of a mission.
With the number of countries currently experiencing turmoil, the exercise will go a long way in helping the standby force prepare to contain conflict and fight terrorism.
The standby force is a force under the African Union where we get prepared to intervene whenever there is a problem and when, according to the mandate from the African Union.
The Eastern African Standby Force, which was established in 2004, is one of the 5 regional multidimensional forces of the African Standby Force, ASF, consisting of military, police and civilian components. Leslie Marungu, CGTN.
Investigations continue in Egypt as authorities dig for more facts about Friday's mosque attack in the Sinai. At least 305 have been killed, among them 27 children, and more than 128 injured. Here is Adel Al-Mahrouki with more.
Vehicles, hideouts, and arms storages destroyed. Numerous similar statements have been released before, yet these groups seem to find a way through this security crackdown.
Responding with military to the attack is very much needed. The state needs to show its power, but it has to be reasonable power based on precise information and planning. But facing terrorism in Sinai by force alone is not enough at all. Sinai must witness massive economic development that provides employment to its youth, engaging them in work.
Insurgency in North Sinai leaped in 2013, right after the military has ousted Islamist president and Muslim Brotherhood member Mohammed Morsi. The consequences were grave. Hundreds of police and army personnel have been killed since. Some critics have been calling for dialogue to end this long rift, but the government rejected.
In the 1990s, the state had reconciled with many extremist groups, among them Al-Qaeda leader Mohammed el-Zawahiri. Most of them remained on their jihadist ideologies and created new groups. So the state understands that dialogue will only be temporary and the problem will remain.
Because of its geographic location, the Sinai has been the most fertile land for militant groups. Its tribal nature, harsh mountainous landscape, and closeness to the smuggling tunnels under the border with Gaza has made it extremely challenging for security officials to maintain flawless control of that region. And with the daily breaches Egypt faces at its western border with Libya, Cairo still needs an immediate solution for this writhing threat. Adil Mahroui, GGTN, Cairo.
A look at the weather update from the Central Forecast Office. Well, we apologize for not being able to bring you the weather report. And before we take leave of you, a recap of the day's main stories. Trust Bank's managing director has told the Janet Commission more about the Taiwan Embassy Trust Fund account. The 2018 Revenue and Expenditure Budget has been presented to the National Assembly by the Minister of Finance. The East Africa Standby Force is holding a military exercise in eastern Sudan. And Egypt has launched investigations into the Sinai mosque attack that killed more than 300 people. Well, viewers, that was all in this edition of the News at 10. From me, Winifred Nicol, and the entire news team. Thanks for your time and do stay with GRTS.